So since I'm moving the seats back 14 inches, got to move the steering column back 14 inches. So to the right edge of the tape measure, that's where the firewall for the pedal assembly will be, right there. I have to disconnect the brake bracket there. There's 2 of the 4 screws on the column mount. And then on these older GM units, got to move that box there, probably 8mm there. Then I can get to the rag joint. Once the rag joint's disconnected, steering shaft's completely disconnected, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then I'm using all that metal. It's probably 12 gauge. Gonna get one solid piece, so I'm just gonna make them sideways, go across there, and you can see they're laying on the frame right there. A little round tube represents the dash bar, and then the little square brackets represent the 2 pieces I made to come out from the dash bar at a 90-degree angle. And then I'll just weld, like I said, all that plate from the top of that down to the frame rail. Since it's already solid mounted, I don't have to worry about rubber bushings or anything. The seat's basically set flat on the tube work that's down there. And that's 14 inches back from the stock location. Hence, it's a big gap. It's a manual transmission, so I got clutch linkage to worry about as well. I don't know if you can see the jack right there, but it's holding up the dash clutch pedal along with the rope. Due to the whole entire area of the body was completely rotted out, so there's really no structure there. And as I cut more away, it got weaker and weaker. As you can see, there's not much left of the dash. Firewall to cut out. Once I get the brake booster out, or that tax setting, all that can get cut out, and then I'll just basically have me an engine setting there with a bunch of wiring on top of it. Working on my pedal assembly today on Project DimeX. As you can see right there, that's the line for the power brake booster. Let's now move back there, which is about 11 inches. The brake is about 12, but my pedals were supposed to come to here, not out here. They're 5 inches farther to the front than I wanted, so that might get in the way of me wanting to do a 14-inch movement to the rear of everything. I got the clutch pedal, gas, and the brake pedal hooked up in the respective pins. I had my son come over and set my Jimmy, and once he got the seat to his liking, we measured from the tip of the pedal to the back of the seat cushion, and that was 37 inches. Well, this is 37 inches, and as you can, like I said, I'm 5 inches farther forward than I wanted to be. But when I sit in it with the seat, it's all the way in its rear position. Will not be using this seat. It's just a mock-up seat. It had the flattest rails of any of the seats I owned on both sides, and it's power. But when I look at the throttle pedal, I'm like 2 inches in this position from hitting the throttle pedal with me. I'm 3 inches shorter in the legs than my son. I do know on the clutch, right there, this piece here from about that crease there needs to be bent like that a little bit. Goal was to bring the gear shift with the engine transmission back 14 inches. These lines there represent 12, 13, and 14. So that's where the shifter would have ended up. That was perfectly fine, except when I look at my pedal assembly, that's throwing me a curve. When I measure my other truck, from the bottom of here to the floor pan is 7.5 inches. Well, that's 7.5 inches. And if you look, I'm thinking the master cylinder, based on where it's sitting on the engine, is about 4 inches too low, maybe. But if I raise it up, it raises the whole pedal assembly up. So the top of the clutch pedal will end up being higher than the seat, which I don't want. I might have to look into some swinging, swinging clutch and brake pedal assembly from the internet and just not worry about that. I don't know what to do yet. But it's coming along. I got most of the welding done. Plus, now that looks like that, and it's way farther forward than I expected, and I already welded these in permanently. I'm thinking I'm going to take me a piece of Engine 8 5/8 pipe, which is what I've been using for the roll cage and all the other ones, and basically bend in one to start about here, or this corner, go straight, bend, and then cattywampus over to about here. That way anything I need to hang, I can hang off of that. And then once I figure out the steering wheel, I can then figure out which one of those I need, or both I need, or cut them off and reposition it in the middle, because I'll need these. This is where the steering wheel gets supported. Right there. On the other side too. And once I get those in, I can see if I need the other pieces or not. Decided to put my steering column in. See how it fitted. I think I'm probably twice off the seat than what it should be. Plus I moved it forward from what it should be, which helps with my belly. You can see down in there, that bracket is not even any resemblance to fitting like the factory piece did. So yeah, I'm way off on the taper on that. Maybe I should put the engine back, and once I got that set where I wanted it, finish the pedals. I don't know, I want to go see. I got my pedal assembly where I need it. So if you look at the brake booster on the right to the master on the left, that's 14 inches, which is what I wanted. The master cylinder is 10 degrees up. Got my pedals in. I used the jack handle and will tack it to the frame to designate 37 inches, because I got tired of measuring it every time I wanted to check it, because it's constantly moving. Clutch pedals in, it's nice and straight. I had to bend the piece here. I had to crack the welds on the back side, twist it to the front or to the back to get that degree up there. Steering wheel mount. Well, I was going to use that, and then I realized, ah, crap, if I leave that there, then had where I got it tacked at the bottom, I would never be able to get that bracket out. Well, I need to take that bracket out, so I'm going to find me some either probably square tube. Probably what's inside that tube there. These right here, they come into about right here or so. That should give me enough to go from here to here. Take that red piece there, which is a nut, and insert it into the square tube after it's welded on there. That way it makes that whole assembly just pop it up, push it in, boom, you got bolts already there. I mean, originally these were tied across with the factory sheet metal, but since I cut the factory sheet metal, they tend to move, so you have to hold them until it gets down in the groove here on the back side. Collects and touches, and then you can tighten them. What a pain in the butt. I figured I'd be done by now. So then this piece here, I don't want to leave the 1x1s at the end inside the 1.5. That looks kind of dumb, so I'm going to make a piece of 1.5 tube, which is what this is. Just do a big loop. I was going to go and replace the entire dash bar of that loop, but the distributor's only 12 inches right now from that bar, so if I do that all the way across, then I may have an issue getting distributor in and out. I don't want that. So basically, I'm going to put a bend right here and go to there, so it'll come back like this. And then on this side, I can do a 90 back to the bar, or I can leave it like that and go to the edge. I do that, and then sheet milling this side will be a little easier. I can just use that bend in this bar and come straight down. No, the clutch master cylinder doesn't go there. I just got tired of it dangling in my way. Gas pedal is down in there, buried somewhere. It's on. Steering wheel's sturdy now compared to what it was. I got my 14 inches rearward that I wanted, and since no short people are going to be driving this, I'm not worried about when I move the engine transmission back. I think it ends up being in second gear. The back of the shifter ends up being right here. So anybody over 5'6" should be able to drive this without any issues. And my son's 6'1", and the seat's as far as back, so his butt will fit in there, and if he wants to drive it, doesn't want to work on it,